Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. So I actually wanted to mix up a custom eyeshadow for you all today. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about our Inspired by You customized recipe book. So we actually have a lot of great recipes in here that you can use, or in today's case, I'm going to sort of use a recipe but then add a little bit to it. So I like to teach in my custom blend classes that it's sort of like cooking, and you can just add whatever toners, colors you want and just kind of create your own recipe. Just always make sure to write it down. So a lot of times if I'm just mixing something without using the recipe book, I'll actually just write down on my mixing paper what I'm doing, and then later on I can record it on a recipe card. Now I am going to use my template. I'm going to use the bottom one here, especially because I am switching up this recipe a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of a color that's not mentioned. So in the recipe book, you'll find that they do have suggested prices for each of the products, but eyeshadows we generally are going to put in the smallest container that we have, and these you can get in a pack of 5. And so in this case, I'm just going to say that everything I put in this jar is usually retailed at about $15. It's just a really easy way for me to remember. So I found a recipe in here, and the name of it is, let's see, where is it now? It's called Snow Angel, and what it has in it is 2 dashes of alabaster, which is a white pigment. Then it has 1 dash of the Moonlight Pearl, which has a little bit of pearl to it. And then it has 1 dash of Diamond Dust. Now, I like the thought of having the shimmer in there as well as the Diamond Dust, but I'm just going to put just a little bit of the rose quartz in it because I don't want it like really white. So in this case, I'm just making up my own recipe, but I'm going to use this recipe sort of as a base. So in this recipe, it does ask for 2 dashes of alabaster. Now, I also have on my template right here that 2 pinches equal a dash, 4 smidgens equal a dash, and generally 4 dashes are, like I said, going to fill a container. So I do have each circle divided up where this is 4 smidgens, this is 2 dashes, but then they added up, they equal a dash. Okay, so you can use it that way. Generally, if I'm going to have a mixing party or I'm going to have a client mix their own, I'm just going to ask them, just like it does on our custom blend recipe forms. I'm just going to say, do you want some shimmer in there, or do you want more of a natural glow? So if they say they want shimmer, I'm going to use the Moonlight Pearl. Do you want it to be cool or warm? Do you want it to have some purple in? Do you want it to have some pink? You can definitely do that too, or you can just have them pick a recipe from the recipe book. It's kind of fun that way because you don't always know exactly what it's going to look like when it's done, but you can always adjust it a little bit too if it's not exactly what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt this down. All right, so I've got my mixing paper here, my template. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1 dash of the alabaster. So this is a great way to incorporate your pigments or your toners that you don't use often. And then it actually calls for 2 dashes of toner, or of the alabaster, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pinch of alabaster. And that's where I'm going to incorporate my rose quartz. I'm going to do a pinch of rose quartz. So I don't want a lot of pink in there. I just don't want it to be as white. And then it calls for 1 dash of the Diamond Dust, which is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Put that in one of my circles. And then it calls for a dash of the Moonlight Pearl. And then just take your mixing knife and mix it all together. so it just added just a hint of that pink in there. I just thought this would be a great inner corner color for my eyes. Show you that a little bit closer. Can you see that? I know it's really hard to see on camera, but in person it's got just this beautiful amount of shimmer. So let me actually oh yeah, that's very pretty. It's actually got a nice shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see that. Very, very pretty. So now that I have that all mixed up, I'm going to put it in my little motifs container. So this would also be a great thing that you could do if they have a palette and they run out of a color in the palette. You can always mix a color to match perfectly. So just experiment, and the more that you mix, the better that you'll get at kind of knowing what color makes what. Okay, so there's my little eyeshadow. So I hope that answers your question about making custom blend eyeshadows. Have fun and make all different creations. Bye!